Ladies and Germans, it's Thursday, which means it's time for that 1v1 we promised. Of course, I, as always, am Con Ulrich, and I
And
am with.
he is Riv Rangru.
Throwing a bit of a curveball at him there today, my bad, folks, but today we're going to go up into the hills, because the hills are alive with the sound of mucus and battle, but mostly mucus. But Rang, who is giving us that big hulking loogie of combat today?
Well,
That got away from me, I'm sorry.
on the left
Go
hand
for it.
side in blue, we have Yuejin as the 3rd Canadian Division. And the right hand side, we have Chickendew as the trophy stash. And I have a question for you, Khan. Is
Okay,
this
go
hill
for it.
112, right?
Uh-huh.
What happened to the 111 hills before that?
Well, they weren't important enough to make it to the game. See, when the developers are going around, they were like, you know what? We want a picturesque hill that looks like a target when you look at it from above.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can, yeah.
So actually, if you look into the game files, there's a hill 96,
Mm-hmm.
which looked a lot like, as you can imagine, a coital position, but was
Oh,
still
yeah.
cleaner than 69, which had a bunch of troops coming out of a large bush, if you know what I mean. But
Fantastic.
we are
Thank
on
you
to
for that
Richard.
explanation.
I do what I can. And plus, the Canadians fought on. And if we did take a hill 112, how will the Canadians get into the game?
Mm-hmm.
But those maple lovers are moving on forwards right now, and with a Sherman, excuse me, a Ram, kind of bringing up the rear of that herd, they're going to deliciously outgun everything that Chickendew's got, really on the entire map, but certainly up top.
Yeah, but I mean, usually this map usually comes down to most of the time, right? It's like fighting on top of the hill is usually pretty important, and then it's just a downhill battle from there. But unlike the sound of it, a downhill battle is usually a pretty good fight.
True, true. It feels like there's like Gettysburg all over again.
Mm-hmm.
But which side's the 28th Maine? Who's up there for the Union? Probably through the blue people, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fine. I guess I'll give it to him. Mortar half-track though on the right-hand side, some actual AT guns in the center. I am surprised. I realize this is just a 1v1 by comparison, but I feel like it's a very conservative breakout, very conservative infantry force overall, actually from Chickendew.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing Trophy Cess, so it's those Grenadiers are a little bit pricey compared to your regular Canadian infantryman. But yeah, I mean, usually I find people on this map usually a bit more hesitant to push everything else south of that top hill because it's kind of weird fighting on the hills, you know, because this is like one of the only two maps that really has hills in major.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm with you so far.
Yeah, you know, so people are just waiting for the big thing up top. It's a big thing up top. It's like a town, but without the town part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You don't have to worry about the cities. There's no civilians.
No civilians. It's just completely bombing. I mean, he said it looked like a target. It was pretty much like a giant target for the RAF. It's like playing a game of darts, but with 250-kilogram bombs.
You know, not for nothing. This is probably before your gaming time because this was even an old game when I started playing it.
Mm-hmm.
Ancient Art of War and Ancient Art of War in the Skies. Those Total War for the Apple computer and early Windows.
Damn, that sounds pretty old. When
But
was
it's
it made?
fantastic. Like late 80s, early 90s. This had like the 3 1/4 floppy disks.
Oh,
That's how old the
floppy
game was.
disk. Damn, that was.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
ancient, Con.
Well, if anyone out there has played it and actually knows you're going to find a copy that still works on today's systems, please let me know. I mean that sincerely. That's such a fun game. But no. One thing that always bothers me is that all of the Allied stuff get snipers, and the Germans don't get snipers.
Yeah.
I mean, you get sharpshooting occasionally, but I feel like there have to be many more snipers out here for the Germans. Why is it that the Canadians get to be Vasily Zaitsev?
That's a
Or
good
that
question.
random Finnish peasant with a gun?
Who managed to kill over 500 Soviets with an unscoped rifle.
Yeah, that guy has to be like the craziest guy to talk to at a cocktail party.
Mm-hmm. In 100 days. In 100
Yes.
days.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
what the fuck, man? Like, you're playing Call of Duty IRL. You got, like, such a high KD ratio.
Oh, yeah, well, he never died, so technically he has an infinite KD, doesn't he?
Pretty much.
I mean, he's dead now, but, you know, I think.
No way.
I think he's dead. I might be
Yeah, I
wrong.
think he's dead. Yeah, it's like sometime in 2000s. We're talking about Seymour Hey Hey, by the way.
I
You guys
had
don't
no idea
know.
what the name was. You say hey hey, I think of Moana. Excuse me.
Anyway, it's still fight. It's going pretty well for Eugene. He's got the forest under his control because he's got CQC troops, and the rest of the map is pretty 50-50, a little bit more in favour of Chickendew, as he has a bit of a long range advantage with Panzer Grenadiers, so down south he's getting a little bit sneaked on.
Yeah, but I think at this point too, I mean, 1v1, these guys are at the top of the craft. So they're going to go and just play a very, very slow game.
Yeah.
Yuejin knows he outguns Chickendew by a ton in the early game.
Yeah, he has the better equipment early game for sure, the infantry, and I mean, they got Boy the Fireflies, which can beat the Rams, but the Rams are a bit more affordable and plentiful, so to speak.
Yes, that is certainly true.
But once we get into the late game, I'm really going to give it more in favour of Chickendew, as he has the better, longer range options. Just as Canadians can get Fireflies and Wolverines, but they don't really come with much veterancy. And you kind of need those stars to, I was trying to think of something that rhymes, but to kill Germans or something. I don't know.
Wow,
That was a bit blunt.
I was gonna say. Not your best work, but Lord knows I've had a couple of Coopers in the last couple of days here too. That mortar half track is proving its weight in gold though.
Mm-hmm.
Which means, by the way, it is quite valuable considering how heavy that motherfucking thing is.
Oh yeah, so yes. For Trophy Cess, it really comes down to good mortar half-track play early on in close quarters fights. Is heck, you may not have a submachine gun, but you got 81mm mortars. Yeah, yeah.
That is certainly true. And interestingly enough, I really did think that the Canadians would have been able and should have tried to aggress maybe to the northeast, secure that northern flank a little bit. But now they're getting pounded out of the forest. It's like watching Prince of Thieves when, you know, the sheriff attacked Robin Hood in the forest.
Yeah.
With all the weird, like, Celts or something like that. I don't even know what those guys are. Barbarians, all of them. Anyway.
I think we call them the Scotch.
You know what? I feel good knowing that occasionally you get a little bit racist against the Scots. I appreciate that. It's taken a while, Rang. I thought it was just me, being half British, that did that. Oh.
Oh god, please don't kill me.
No, they won't kill you. They'll just... Actually, never mind. I was going to go like half Irish there for a second. Let's not make it worse. But the Ram 2s again. The Ram 2s, yes, those little goats are getting forced around by the tank, anti-tank guns, but they're still devastating enough with that AP ammo that there's not a whole lot that can stand up against them.
Yeah.
Is that a Pack Howie I see? No, 25 pounder.
25
Oops, my
pounder.
bad.
It's going to be taking a German to Pound Town. And that's a good counter option. Try to keep the German infantry at bay as he brings up like some more infantry to try and hold onto that forest.
Or heck, how about using it to counter battery that mortar? The mortar has absolutely no ability to do anything if he fires 2 rounds and gets pounded from another 1,000 meters away.
And oh, he doesn't have line of sight in a mortar at the moment. That's right.
But you don't need line of sight just to shoot. Just
Okay,
fire
fair
randomly.
Point. Fair point.
Actually, was he line of sight for a lot of people? It's surprisingly good for both sides.
They both got their decent amount of recon, and as we all know, if you need to shoot stuff, you get recon troops. Down south is looking pretty good for Eugenio, as he's run not a sniper guy. He's just clicking off German heads.
Well, you know what? He was at like one of those like country fairs a little while beforehand. I mean, Canadians have country fairs, right?
Yeah, we have country fairs. We also do have those. I'm fairly certain.
I was gonna say I didn't know it was warm enough for that some days, but
the winter base county fairs.
Oh,
we have like build your own igloos and all of that.
That
ride a polar bear for five Canadian dollary dues.
I think something like five buckets of fish or something. I thought it was like.
We also do buckets of fish, but it depends on the type of fish.
Oh, but that's only your border with the state that can see Russia. Fair enough. And that's just because they're just not that Inuit.
That was terrible, but
I know.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
But the Canadians are they're pulling out all the stops from the zoo. We have wasps moving in, we have kangaroos. And 25-pounder ruins that. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, they are slowly pushing back again to secure their northern flank, like I said. You know what? If that bulge is there, you might be happy to see those Germans, but let's just let it rise further.
Yeah, just let it rise, let it peak first before trying to diminish
Insert
it.
yourself someplace else.
Yeah, I think it'd be a really good idea for Eugene to try to push around, like, the southern area. I think he tried to do it with the ram too, but he has this
Wait, is
burdened
the ram too dead?
remains. Yeah, in the north, by the spur troop. It got shot-shotted or something by the Pack 38.
Adios mio.
I know, I mean, it's kind of a bad move there, moving it unsupported, without recon troops or anything, so he did deserve to lose it because of that, but that's gonna pretty much give Chickendew a bit of breathing room now, as it doesn't have to worry about any armor up north for the next 20 seconds.
Rang, you realize you're saying that about your countrymen, right?
I know.
Okay, just making sure.
But you know, you gotta try to stay unbiased a bit. Even though I do like playing Canadians in this game. They're pretty awesome.
That I will give you that. They have always been a strong division.
Yep. I mean, who doesn't love spamming ROSPs and stag count AA? I mean, that's what you have to do with Canadians, right? You spam ROSPs, you spam stag count AA, you try to fast move to the enemy spawning, and if you lose, you just blame balance.
Unfortunately, wasps do get taken out by fly swatters,
Yeah.
proving that using a cannon to kill a mosquito-type insect is, in fact, a way to get rid of your pest problem.
Yeah.
Down to the south, though, that sniper you were talking about, Carpenter,
Mm-hmm.
he has whittled away his last sniper round, so now he's down to one Sten gun.
It's kind of funny when you think about it. He has sniper scouts out of ammo, but south of him is two like infantry squads, also using the Ironfields. But they can't just go down south and like, hey, Reg, could you like just let me a few bullets?
I'd wonder how that would work as a mechanic to have
Shared ammo.
Like shared ammo between infantry squads. Like, how would you share it out? That'd be kind of cool, though.
They have it in Men of War too.
Yes, they do.
Where it's like it's a sniper squad. You know, it doesn't have about ammo now because he's dead. But good use the boy to Cromwell down there just blind firing. It's usually pretty good call for it. But that'd be kind of a cool mechanic, being able to share ammo between infantry squads. I mean, tanks would be a bit silly, but infantry makes sense.
Guys slinging 8-pound rounds between tanks. Oi, Mary, do you have any more that 6-pounder?
Oh yeah, mate. I'll just let me just grab some. Do you want AT or AP?
A spot of tea with it if you can.
Okay,
and some biscuits.
I only got digestive.
Digestive biscuits?
Yeah, digestive biscuits. You ever heard of digestive biscuits?
Nope.
They're like crumbly. They're really good. My favorite type of biscuit.
Rang, I mean this again with all possible affection. What's crumbly? I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Like flaky, like you eat it and it just like crumbles.
Oh, okay.
I just made it up now. I don't know if that's actually a real word, but it sounds like it should be a real word.
It's like the M&M of cookies. It melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. It's. I'll show you a picture after the match.
Okay. As of right now, looking down at the map, you look at the map overall, it looks like Chickendew's the one letting his cock crow.
It's a big old rooster.
Yes, exactly. You knew what I was that's what I was talking about. We do have, however, a Vesp moving on in a nice central position, probably trying to cite himself to start bombarding the north, which I completely understand. And I have to love his name. His name is Shun, which is, I kid you not, nice.
Nice. We've been having some rather nice Resp names these past few replays.
Yeah.
People need to get more Resp, or we can just make fun of Resp names.
Yeah, I actually kind of wonder, how do they pick the name? It's just like they pick a name out of a hat for every single unit? I remember it's like a pool.
I think during like the beta stages of the game, because I remember them doing it for War Game, they just have a form thread of like, give us your like German names, and if it's legit, we'll add it into like a pool of names.
Oh man, I want to add my name. I should have done that all the time. My last name is German, man.
They might do it for ST2 again, so. Because I remember them doing it for War Game, and I think I did it for ST. I'm not entirely sure.
You know, Rang, you need to make sure that if they do it for SD, that you put the Canadianness in there for you too. We owe it to our people.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. In the meantime, though, one plucky squad of rifles. Again, little Morty is moving south. And he might be blocking off. He might feel the wrath of Wrath. Yep, caught in the
Yeah.
flank.
He's
And
he's in a real predicament, yeah.
let's just say I'm mortified.
I'm surprised he's been surviving that long, but now he's running away.
As all wise men do, I would say.
Yeah, and there's Boida. And there he's just getting picked off one by one. The Ram Tuesday, against Boida Firefly. Not gonna be the best choice.
Did you say the best choice?
The I didn't, but now I wish I did.
The 25-pounder is starting to pound down on that Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
And a little Chopwa up there is saying, you know what? He gets knocked down, but he will get back up again.
Yeah. And we're also seeing Yuejin bring out his Wolverines, and they're really doing him a good favour. The run up north has pretty much cut off the northern side for the Germans, allowing him to clear up that hill. And damn, he's got like 3 Wolverines already on the field. So that's quite a bit of anti-tank, right? Yeah.
Well, you know him, man. He's all about the healing factor.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna just get close and stab him. That's a secret third weapon.
Yep.
Bunch of claws that just come out the barrel. And just
And attitude.
And
attitude.
attitude,
Don't forget
yeah.
attitude.
An attitude. Can't forget the attitude.
Be honest, by the way, you teared up a little bit at the end of Logan.
A little bit, yes.
Hard not to, man. Well, that's one piece of booty who's not going to get any more ass. Boy to Cromwell does go down.
Yeah.
Panzerwaffe is still in play. He's not done anything yet. He might be able... Nope, he's like, he can't hit anything important. Never mind.
Mm-hmm. And we have a Tiger coming out up north. It's a 2-star run. Chickendew probably doesn't have, like, deluxe edition, so it's not Rittman, but we can just pretend he's Rittman.
I would rather not. That means he'll survive longer.
Oh, yeah, like, that's not Rittman, guys. This is just an unnamed Tiger 2, yeah. Tiger Run with 2-star veterancy.
Exactly.
Rink.
Exactly. Okay, I do have to say, check out the Vesp fire plan.
Oh, I love it. He's doing, like, the Bermuda Triangle or so.
Yeah, I can't help but wonder if he's trying to make it that's like an aesthetic choice or what the deal is, but I'll take it. You know,
he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 places he's shooting.
I would say
it's like a giant 4.
I would say it is almost kind of very avant-garde, but it's more like market garden. The puns are rich today.
Crap. Oh god.
Holy kraut!
Holy crap! I didn't even mean to say that, but
oh, perfect.
Yeah, we're taking that too.
Perfect.
There's been some fantastic replays. Jeez.
Tiger is moving north, but that big kitty, I don't know if he can face off against that pair of Wolverines. Especially from that distance, they're so close.
Yeah, the one Wolverine's backed off, and the second run... I mean, the second one will probably get first shot when the Tiger pops around the corner.
You already can't see him. It takes forever. Oh my god.
Holy crap, guys.
The turret rotation took forever.
Same with the... That was ridiculous. But yeah, Tiger 2, you know, doesn't miss. Can't get a good shot off like that.
He says, screw you, stabilizers, and that was that.
Who needs stabilizers when they got fantastic German training?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go with that, but fair enough. I'll nod knowingly and be like, oh yes, that's very true.
And now he's got a 2-3-2 here to give him some moral support. But, I mean, you've got 6-pounder, which could potentially get a good shot, and the Wolverine up north as well. And we've got another 6-pounder toward the left a little bit, trying to knock out 2-3-2. And that one Tiger does need to get some support for it, some infantry, some recon, because it's a little bit bare out, yeah.
It's a little bit bare. I thought it was a tiger.
Oh yeah, it's no Brumba, you're correct.
Second, Panzerwaffe moving on in. Good idea here.
Mm-hmm.
We know down to the south, things have quieted down. That Pack 38 has been there since the beginning of the game, and Spot Troop has had a little bit of action himself. But no one really wanted to aggress, and I think it goes back to what you were saying. The prime position in this map is the top, 1,000 meters or so.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone loves flying over the top, and now for Yuejin, it's pretty easy for him to start making progress down on top, as he just starts going down south, downhill, and Pretty much you just hold like a hill line, put some AT guns there, and just like Obi-Wan Kenobi, you got the high ground. You can't lose if you have the high ground. Unless you do like a street somersault, but even that won't really work.
Ah, yes, the usage of Ataru against Soriesu.
What?
For those of you out there who have no idea what I'm talking about, I just
Like
nerded
me?
out and mentioned 2 different kinds of lightsaber combat.
Oh god. Oh god.
Yes.
We're going there
Yes.
now.
Hey, I will say, a couple years back, when I was a younger man, I walked home from a movie, talking with another friend of mine, the 7 kinds of lightsaber combat. Yes,
Holy-
I was that big of a nerd.
Jeez. Jeez.
Ugh.
I didn't even know we had 7 types of goddamn lightsaber combat.
Well,
That's-
you also never played, Masters of Terrakasi, whatever the heck that Star Wars fighting game was a long time ago.
Oh, the PS1 run?
Yeah,
I've
buddy.
never played it, but I've seen it. Does not look all that great to me entirely.
It's
honest.
not. It
Yeah.
did not age well.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have, I was going to say, a nice little Christmas, like, treaty between the rifles and the younglings down there.
This is.
But I can't make this up. Like, this is just lucky names right, left, and center recently, man.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. They were literally like right next to each other. I think the smoke was blocking their line of sight, but it doesn't really look like it up close.
I'd like to point out down south, an area that with which has had known peace for so long, it just got plastered by a Panzerwerfer.
Mm-hmm. But there's nothing really to exploit the blasting. So those rifles are gonna run away, and then they're just gonna come back.
Well, it's more of like they're practicing their retreat. It's like, guys, we're going to come back for a second season. Don't you worry. We're going to wait for CBS to pick us up, and we'll be all set.
Mm-hmm. Bit of a morning jog.
Yeah, exactly. Now, spot troops against sniper scouts. I would actually be very interested to see who wins this particular fight. Problem is with that Wolverine right there, it's not going to be... Yep, there we go.
Yeah. I'm really, like, curious. Yeah, Chickendew, he's getting a lot of artillery now. Like, I think he just brought, like, another Resp on the field. He's got 2 Panzerwerfers, more to half-track. He's really bringing out the big boom, so it seems like he needs a bit more direct fire support units. Some more Panzer Grenadiers here and there. These Panzerwerfers are doing pretty decent. The run up north has got some nice hits, but the thing with Panzerwerfer, though, is that once you do the Panzerwerfer strike, you really need to follow up with an attack. That's the whole point of the Panzerwerfer. You kill and stun stuff, and then you push on through, but it's not going to be the case.
No. Meanwhile, Yuejin is following much more the Pixar grasshopper way of life. You come, you eat, and you leave. And he is chowing down on German positions right, left, and center. 61% right now. He is up by a shutout.
Yeah, plus 2-point advantage, and he has a pretty good like defensive line all over. He's got 6-pounders behind his like main line to the front, and up north he's got 2 Wolverines and 2 6-pounders. I mean, he's pretty set for just playing a nice defensive role. And of the 2-star section on the field, he's Gucci.
You know, I realize this is after the holiday season, but all I can really say right now is it doesn't show any signs of stopping. And I keep seeing those crot heads go popping. And since to Berlin, they want to go. Let it blow, let it blow, let it blow.
Beautiful, Khan.
I do what I can.
Beautiful.
The Tiger E over here is still hiding behind that 232. 232 is more of a stalking horse at this point, but still, I don't know. I think it's a better idea. You might lose the command vehicle, but you might as well keep the Tiger as spiffy as possible.
Yeah. I'd much prefer to lose that 45-point command vehicle and my 240-point German heavy tank.
Can we also note the fact that the Vesp is trying to counter battery the Sexton?
Not gonna happen.
It might. Look at the shots already. I mean, the Sexton's not even shooting for him, so this isn't quite a fair combat.
Yeah.
I'm just amused that I'll get out that the Sexton's actually seeing some holy fire from downrange. Sort of. I mean, off by 200 meters is something to kind of sneeze at, but...
No, Rash will eventually get a hit. I mean, look. Oh, here we go. Look, just a bare amount of suppression on the 2-star Sexton.
I was more distracted by the fact there's a typhoon down south, and that divine wind is going to completely blow apart that tank gun.
Oof. Almost. But I'm liking this push down south of the Panzer Grenadiers. This could be a time for Chickendew to push through with the Sherman also pulling back. It's going to be a little bit slow because they're moving on foot, but You know, it's better than no movement at all, eh?
Very true. Very true. Finally, at long last, a German plane comes on out, but not going to be enough to really inspire me to any great confidence there.
Yeah, and the Germans don't really have any AA either, so it's a little bit dangerous getting into any dogfight without any AA. And same with the Canadians too, to be honest. I mean, they got some 50 cal weaponry, but nothing dedicated anti-aircraft right. It's really quite funny seeing like a third Canadian player just not using any stag count AA piece. I mean, it kind of makes sense for this map, but you usually always see like 1 or 2 stag count AA somewhere. They're usually such a preferred tool for your Canadian pusher.
I can understand it, but at the same time, I think it's actually probably a better idea to have just gone much more with the AFVs.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you now. Especially against Trophy Stats, you kind of want
Exactly
the anti-tank instead of the 50 cal Giro.
I mean, because if nothing else, you have the Wolverines, and yes, the Wolverines aren't great with that, but they still have 1,000 rounds of M2.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. It's something. It's a little bit of extra edge.
I have been depressed about the quality of Panzerwerfer barrages, though, in the last couple of games we've done.
Yeah, you've got rough ram and barrage in the Ram, too.
Amusing, but that's not going to make me that happy.
No. And didn't even get the full-on suppression. Yeah, I will agree. The barrages have not been fantastic. He hasn't had anything to really follow up with it. He has a ridiculous amount of artillery. Like, he's pretty much just brought out all the artillery you could really get for Trophy, to be entirely honest.
And it still doesn't stabilize the line.
He just needs more frontline troops. He's getting more infantry in the middle now, which is good, but still. He needs to get back from a +2 death fit in 14 minutes, and he doesn't really have momentum. This is going to be a bit of a tough run for Chickendew. Can he do it? Or really chicken out?
Well, basically what he has to do, you're saying, is he has to cross to the other side of the road, right?
But that can be pretty hard when there's a bunch of pounder guns, 625, 76mm pounders all over, 17 pounders with Firefly coming in.
Yep, I think that's fair to say that his hopes of winning are really on a wing and a prayer.
Preferably a chicken ring from KFC.
Fried, original, or extra crispy?
Original.
Interesting. Okay. Classic kind of guy. I see that. There's so many anti-tank guns, though, as well as the artillery fire from long range. Jagdpanzer's having some issues. The Vespa, of course, can't do a whole lot except lob shells from way downtown. And I'm surprised that this 17-pounder, excuse me, yeah, 17-pounder. I always want to call this 76 or 7, whatever.
I always want to call it a 16-pounder because it has like 16 AP value.
If that were true, we'd have to call the Panzer III the P7.
Then we can call like the Panzer IV the Panzer 14.
Only the G or H variant, though, or the J, actually. Ooh, the 232 goes down. And suddenly, the Germans, for some reason, in that Tiger tank say, we've lost half of our skills.
Yeah. Well, I forgot how to reload the gun so fast without my Führer just shouting orders down my neck.
There's more of actually having the Commissar, if you know what I mean, behind him.
I think what the command leader does in the vehicle is that he just has like the radio tunes into the command leader's like combat car, and the combat car is just blaring like Erica 24/7.
That would make sense. Or, since it is the German side in this case, Wagner.
It's like when you like play like a first-person shooter game and some guy's just blaring music over the mic. Like you play Red Orchestra 2 and some guy's just playing the Russian national anthem as you like charge Red October Factory.
Let's just stay away from La Marseillaise. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's a good song.
La Marseillaise?
Yeah, it's decent.
I like it
anthem.
one time. There's only one version I do like, and I will say it's in the middle of Casablanca. I will say that. Ugh.
Typhoon coming in, Typhoon dropping bombs, and more half track not having a good time.
Hey, you know what? He was right between the uprights on that one. He survived. That's the important thing. And that Wolframen, he takes forever to reload.
Yeah. Those rockets are they're pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. But they're pretty powerful too. But pretty heavy.
But when you have a Stukas of Fus, what else can you do?
Mm-hmm.
Amusingly enough, if you look at the unit card, that MG on the back almost looks like someone has to walk behind the half-track to fire it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
It's kind of pointing the wrong way.
Panzerwerfer, though, trying to go and take out the deck. But Jagdpanzer and Wolverine are engaging each other. This could be kind of interesting.
Yeah, and you got the Panzerwerfer roughing the empty tree line. But it probably would have been better to rough these two Fireflies engaging this Jagdpanzer. But he does kill the 17-pounder, which is a good kill. But he's probably going to lose the Jagdpanzer now, which is not good. Not good at all.
Niet, comrade.
Niet, indeed.
And now all I can think now is of Great Escape. Well done, Con. Well done. Devarish. Ah, so who will speak to you, Private Kavelski? Or whatever the hell his name is. Private Charlie Bronson. Mortar does not make it out in time, and they heard you. Unfortunately, that call was placed long distance, so while the operator was connecting you, this happened.
And that Panzerwerfer strike as Fireflies do the tactical maneuver of retreating backwards. They managed to dodge the majority of the Panzerwerfer strike.
Interestingly, we did see an expansion of the zoo. Firefly, there's also a dingo out there eating your babies.
Mm-hmm.
And an Achilles has come on in.
And a
you
Lynx.
guys... I'm sorry?
There's a Lynx down south too. The Lynx. It looks like a dingo.
Delightful.
Yeah.
How delightful. I am amused. Actually, I want to see the difference. Okay, so shockingly enough, the Lynx almost looks like an actual vehicle, while the dingo just clearly isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah. We also seen a push down south here with this Boy the Firefly and Panther G combo. The question is, will they be able to push? I don't really think so, as the Canadians have a pretty good defensive line. That Ram 2's in a really nasty position to deal with, unless you shoot it with a Panther. Yep. And a Firefly kills a Firefly.
Well, right now it's salt and pepper time. Push it real good. Push it. All right. For another reference of old-timey stuff, stay tuned. That Ramen reloaded? No, he's just chilling. All right. He's just outside of that. All right, driver wounded. What was the driver wounded by? Was it a 17-pounder? Oh, no.
Oh, Achilles.
The Achilles.
German airplanes managed to shoot down a Typhoon, yo.
Interesting. They have won against the forces of nature.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting indeed. And we got the Ram 2 backing off, and he gets kaboomed by the Panther G.
What up, G?
What up, G? Explosions. Being
many
ammo
explosions.
And it's really coming down to his Panther G making his push. Too bad doesn't have the artillery ready to like blow up his Firefly Achilles combo, as that would be some fantastic hit, but that is not to be, my G. Not to be.
Oh, be the greatest hits.
Mm-hmm.
But the Panther looks like he's gonna probably get declawed here.
Yeah, it's not in the best position. Firefly, Boy the Firefly, coming around to help out his catty friend. But he's had a pretty good push so far from Chickendew. He's managed to break it back down to a plus run. And it's really just going to come down to his Panther and Firefly, like killing these two, like Fireflies and Achilles. And he's doing some nice strafing runs on the tanks up north. So, and he's got a rocket plane coming in now down south to hit the Sherman. So maybe Chickendew can do something. Kills a Firefly.
Yeah, he did hobble it though.
Yeah. Because the middle's really starting to become a bit more open now. It's just that bloody Achilles that he has to worry about.
This is so weird to see so much in the way of German air power on this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 50-50.
From bloody Troph SS. Problem is though, is that Chickendew, he needs like a +4 to really win. That's going to be a bit of a tall order.
Yeah, that is certainly true.
You can either, you know, capture the entirety of the map to get like a good +4, so maybe he can pull something out of his pocket, but he's kind of running a Panthagene to a 17-pounder down south at point-blank range, and he kind of pays for it with internal fragments. And those internal fragments are now external fragments, as the tankers blew up.
Yep. And then turns around neatly and kills the point of Firefly.
Yep, and the rocket run just, 20 seconds too late, really.
Well, at least that Verframen got to fire again.
Yeah. It's really cool
I do
seeing
kind of
that thing.
wish. Verframen, I wish those rounds were actually a wee bit more accurate. But, that's just me griping.
It's not really designed for precision targeting.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
more
that's
for,
true.
I just want that whole blob of things is dead. Please. Just please disappear. Blob of things. Please stop trying to attack me. Thank you.
Is it fairly safe to say we can probably go and click this over to ×2 at about 40 minutes?
Yeah. Also, the Panzer went down in the middle. I don't know by roll. I think it was probably the Achilles, so that's not good. And 3, 2, run 2 times.
Now, we are going to see the artillery park back it on up. Unfortunately, 2 of those artillery vehicles have no rounds in them anyway, so one kind of wonders why it matters that they exist.
Yeah, and as we're seeing, Yuejin is starting to break through down south for the unit rise. We've got Kriegsma up north, but he's a little outgunned, and yeah, pretty much Yuejin has managed to win the attrition war. And these artillery, I think Chickendew focused a little bit too much on artillery, or didn't take advantage of his artillery advantage to try to break through. Like I said, you need to once you do a Panzer Rifle or a Rifle Ram strike, you need to push right afterwards to really get the most of it.
I'm not sure it's fair to say that he won an attritional warfare because 3rd Canadian's always going to win the attritional fight.
Yeah, I disagree with that. Trophy S has the better veterancy tanks, really.
Oh, I was just talking about just straight up amounts of just killy stuff. Eventually, okay. I feel like all the German divisions get outnumbered.
Yeah.
Nearly all of them. I mean, not perfectly, obviously, but I feel like it's a consistent thing.
I see where you're coming from. The Canadians got more stuff. So you got a lot of Fireflies and Achilles that you can bring up. But usually, in straight up tank fights, Trophy S would usually do better because.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The
because
tanks
have higher
veterancy.
quality tanks.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from, I understand your statement, Khan.
I appreciate that. It's nice hearing that I'm the captain now. You said aye, right?
Aye.
Okay, cool.
I also just want to say before this cast is over, I just want to remind everyone that Shermans do have stabilizers, allowing them to shoot round corners extremely efficiently. Same with Stuart tanks.
Yay. Alright, that was a complete shutout, but the KD was very similar.
That's
in fact,
really close.
And Chickendew actually technically came out ahead.
That's only a 15-point difference, Khan. That is absurdly close. I'm really surprised. It really seemed like Yuejin was pulling all the punches, but he took some losses. I'm guessing his air power he lost. Those are the big losses, but looking at the kills, Leclerc, the Sherman, blowing up a lot of things. That was a Southern Sherman, by the way. Then losses, Trophy S didn't really do too much, really.
There's not a lot of standouts, but there's a lot of guys who did very key roles in pinning people down or constantly suppressing them. So I will say that.
And looking at history, it's fairly back and forth. Your early on Germans do take more casualties for the first 10 to 20 minute mark.
That's okay. Go to minute 30-30.
30-30?
Yeah.
Oh, the blue stuff dies?
Yeah, so I mean, it's body shots back and forth. There's a bit of a rope dope going on for a while from Chickendew, but he unleashes that thunderous attack, and then loses all of his major material by minute 34. So
yeah.
Regardless, definitely an interesting game. Not one I expected to go quite that way. I expected to see a lot more, let's say, armored forces coming on out in support of the Reich here, but that's not seem to be the case.
It's definitely an interesting way to play Trophy S. I mean, it is during Panzeref spammer Trophy S is a good idea. It's just the follow-up part. You just need some armor to go along with it.
I will completely agree with you. Makes perfect sense. But for right now, though, that does end our coverage of Steel Division for today. Rang, do you have any more pearls of wisdom?
None at all.
All right, folks. In that case, then we will catch y'all real soon. I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru, take it easy.